there any games you're circling on the calendar?
Not particularly. Like, love to see how Monty coaches up against Phoenix. So that I believe we play Phoenix fairly early in the schedule. I think most Pistons fans, they already have the Rockets game in January when we're at home. The only national televised game this year is a Rockets game that ESPN did pick up. I think that's probably the most obvious answer. But I think the first game of the season, to me, that's one game that I'm really looking forward to watching. Not because basketball is back, it's because you're going up against a team that was just in the NBA Finals. I think that's going to be a really good test to see where this team is at. Not saying the Pistons are going to win a championship or anything, but it'll kind of tell you, okay, what should my expectations for this team be? Because this is a team that's in the playoffs each and every year. One of the most, Eric Spoelstra, in my opinion, is one of the best coaches in the NBA. I really want to see how they attack the Pistons. I want to see how the Pistons respond. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I could see the Pistons maybe possibly, sneaking one off in Miami, because it seems like when we go to Miami, we play really well.
So the Suns, that's the 7th game on November 5th of the regular season. I do have the Houston Rockets circled because, that's a rivalry. Let's be honest. Like, I want to see Asar and Amin go at it. I also have the Charlotte Hornets circled, because I really think LaMelo and Cade could be a fun matchup for years. Two big point guards, not similar styles, but, one's more like a Hollywood, gonna have a highlight every single game, gonna throw these crazy, ridiculous passes. And then on the other side, there's a more cerebral player in Cade who, seems to always make the right decision. That's going to be a fun one. The Kings matchup, I just want to see Cade and like Jaden Ivey go against some fun backcourts. And De'Aaron Fox, he's one of the more explosive, faster, athletic point guards in the league. That's going to be fun. And then obviously Keegan Murray, because I felt like the fan base was torn between him and Jaden Ivey during that draft. And then I got the Pacers games on there again, just because of the Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin talk we had last year. That's going to be a fun rivalry. But are there any matchups this season that you're looking forward to? Because, like I said, LaMelo and Cade, Benedict Mathurin, Jaden Ivey. I want to see Asar and Amin. I want to see Jalen Duren dunk on Wemby. That's going to be a fun matchup too. Like, who doesn't want to see that? But are there any for you that you're like, man, this is like, I will definitely like clear my calendar to make sure that I'm watching this game because I want to see these two players go at it?
Honestly, like, I'm watching every game anyways.
Yeah, same.
I don't know if I would get like extra excited to like watch like Wemby versus Duren, because Wemby's probably just going to sit out anyways.
Oh, come on.
Did you see that? They're going to like monitor him this year. They're not going to let him play back-to-backs or anything.
Yeah, I remember there was someone a couple of months ago that was talking about that, how I think they were talking about like Wemby as a rookie of the year, how he might put up the numbers, but he won't have enough games played to win it because the Spurs are going to be pretty careful and they're probably going to handpick matchups for him to play in, probably give him some big minutes against easier competition where, he can look better and get some confidence in his game and get welcome to the NBA. I get that. Kind of sucks though.
Yeah, I think the Pacers game, that's a game that I think maybe not every Piston fan will be excited about, but I told you last week, I think that could rekindle the rivalry because the Pacers have a nice young core. They have Halliburton, we have Cade. Someone said Killian versus Halliburton matchup of the decade.
I knew that was
Yeah, shout out to Ben. He's like the number one resident Killian Hayes hater in the chat. He has been way before we even drafted him. I remember him saying, draft Halliburton, you don't want Killian. But getting back to the Pacers stuff, you got Ivy and Mathurin. Mathurin still feels salty. He thought he should have went fifth to the Pistons. So that's a matchup. Then you have the Pacers have a nice front court. They just traded for Obi Toppin. I believe they still have Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith. we have just as much bigs to throw at them. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup to watch to see how the Pistons can match up with them, because the Central Division, in my opinion, is really stacked. The most stacked probably in the last 5 years. I mean, we all know Milwaukee's a powerhouse. Cleveland, when healthy, powerhouse. I think the Pacers, I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Pacers. I think the Pacers could be a top 6 seed easily if they're healthy.
They're going to be a good team. This still got Buddy Hield launching threes. He's been one of the best and most consistent three-point shooters for like the last 6 years or something like that in the NBA. Tyrese Halliburton, fantastic point guard. I mean, I think, he's just incredible. The Orlando Magic, that might be another game too, just because of the Franz Wagner going number 1 in the Cade Cunningham draft. That's going to be a fun matchup as well. Then you got Paolo Banchero. That's always cool. But I'm not really looking forward to like the Scottie Barnes and Evan Mobley coming to town, or when the Pistons play the Raptors and the Cavaliers. I don't know why those 2 games don't. I mean, I really like watching some of those players. We were just talking about Pascal Siakam. Then there's Donovan Mitchell for the Cavaliers. He had a 71-point game last year. I mean, definitely some exciting players, but I'm just not as interested in matchups in those games that I am against for some of these other games.